I just want to start off by saying thank you, God. Um, every day I understand what's happening to me. That's why I have to see this purpose I have on this earth. I think for me, I feel like I get like, I've, there's a feeling of purposeness. Even though what's happened to me is bad, like I'm slowly rotting. But I swear to God, how things have aligned themselves looks almost biblical. First of all, I understand what's happened to me. I have no doubt about the fact that as a target individual, I'm just one of so many who are test subject. I know there's children, I know there's women, and I know there's men. And all around the world. It's not just in New York, it's not just in California, it's not just in Illinois, it's not just, it's global. I'm thankful that I got the chance to speak up for an awareness and speak up about the awareness of target individual. That at least one of my time, the purpose I had the chance to have a purposeful experience of speaking about what we go through and bring awareness of it. And I'm glad that I was able to, on record, say this is happening to men, women, and children. That can never be taken away. These testimonials have been seen all around the world. Today, there is no doubt that I know the horror that's happening to others in the same ways as me, if not even worse. Much more vulnerable, by the way. And even if it's not worse, they are much more vulnerable than me, which makes it even worse. So for today, right now, when I see how they are trying to negate, block out what this is really doing, how disgusting it is, and nobody, for me, you just saw a video of the individual who are in, I don't even want to speak about the industry, and it's funny how they try to negate the industry by telling me how I'm going to be farmed. I was like, okay, well, however I'm being farmed, I know who's doing that to me. I know who's truly behind what's happening to me. And I'm thankful for people like Robert Duncan who are no longer with us, to make it clear to us, to not get confused with the stupidity that's around you as a target individual, to confuse you, to disorient you. They really are trying to make you think that this is anything but a massive government. And it's funny how Robert Duncan, in one of his last, the last time he was, I think, seen in a public podcast like events. He described how like one of the target individual thought it was just this next door 14-year-old Xbox player doing that to him or her. And for me, it's just a lot of the same thing. I'm like, this is amazing. Like, before this man died, he brought up the fact that what is happening to some target individual is so similar that I can like literally relate to that level. There's some teenage kids living next to me, near me, around me, who really want me to think it's their money, and please, like they're so out of touch, and they think it's gonna function. Maybe they understand also the technology that can rewire my brain, can perhaps influence me in this way, but it would be an influence that I recognize immediately. And it is doing that. They are manipulating me to think that way. They truly can rewire my brain, but I recognize how stupid it is that my brain is even going there. And I understand it for what it is. It's the manipulation of my brain to thinking that way. But with that being said, and even though I know these next door neighbors are just clowns and trash the government contract to partake in this program, because one thing is for sure, participants come in all shape or form. And there's a lot of teenagers, a lot of kids, a lot of, participating, from kids who are kids to young people to older, like, there's a whole ecosystem of people who's supposed to disorient you and make you think that this is anything but this massive government doing horrible things to women and children. And by the way, there's been women calling out the same thing. So when I see this teenage trash and the way they behave, and they really think in their state of childlike stupidity, and you add this like way this governmental program knows how to play around with these clowns, right? Make them believe it's their world. They really think like they're part of this whole thing that's controlling the world, when in truth is they're just a nothing. If you see how pathetic some of them are, they will try to sound mistakeful. I mean, the kids, that's obvious too. There's even grown men and women I'm looking at, it's like, you definitely are nothing. Even I'll go to offices with executive and all that, I'm like, oh my gosh, I know how nothing you are in this whole thing. So these little clowns, oh my, and in their mind, as perps, I deal with a lot of childlike perps. And if I don't know if you've seen a child that you like empower a little bit, they get like they take it like as if it's like an honor, like they really think they just like they start designing these gimmicks or something else. Now what they're involved in is a very, 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 very extremely serious evil thing. Extremely, I mean, we're talking about atrocities. Like that's extreme level of evilness that at that point, kids or not, what they're part of is so diabolical that they deserve the worst. There's no coming back from what they're involved in. I know that. I know they're nothing, but I don't take away what they're involved in for what, but how disgusting it is. I truly connect them with the real thing of what they're part of. And I don't think they take conscious of it yet. But I think they get to that point if they continue to play this thing in front of me, because I don't think I can be quiet and polite like I've been before. I think it would be a disservice for all the target individuals who've died and suffering this program if I allow this trash being groomed in these things to think that this is something I'm going to let them paint in their fantasized way. I'm here in this neighborhood of specific ethnicity and, minorities. Someone like me, but in other minorities. And, you get to like see how people behave and what influenced them. And how like the influences of certain people can impact and put the battery in others. It's kind of disgusting at the same time. And there's something that I'm noticing, and I'm observing how these childlike people involve themselves in that, and what excites them and what gives them like, okay, well, this group of people are thanking me. So this is good, and I'm looking at them, it's like, you just lack self-respect, self-esteem. These people are opportunists. They will never have their children do what you do, you trash ass. That's okay. I don't do that. When I say these things, target video, and I look at these perps who are children and how they've compromised them, I'm not saying that out of the goodness of my heart, to be honest. And I'm sorry, I guess I'm that petty, because I don't hope the best for these people, even though they're children. I truly don't. I actually wish that they continue to be trash like that. And I mean that by the bottom of my heart, because I know the reality of what comes back, how it comes back. And I know these grown men and women participating in watching that, they don't want to bring that up because it's clear where this is going. You don't need to be clairvoyant to see that kids doing what these kids are doing is not going to look good for the future. I'm being told every day that I'm being framed by teenage kids. Kids are pretending that we're getting together, that we're having intimacy together, and I'm of course disturbed by it, but I have to see things for what they are. The current state and shape I'm in is not healthy. Even if they didn't do anything to me in regard of that nature, wherever I end up, I'm not looking good. That's reality. I can't look at myself and think you're gonna live a long life. I've accepted that. That's why I make so many videos. That's why I continue to speak while I can, because there will be a day, maybe sooner than later, where I couldn't do that. I'm not trying to be sad. I'm not trying to be but that's the reality, and I would like to put that reality there. So it gives me strength, so I can deal with reality with full strength and understanding what to lose and what I have to lose and what I don't have to lose. So when I hear these clowns are using teenage kids to frame me, I can only imagine. So you're willing to have these kids pretending they're raped? Who knows how it's going to impact their future? I guarantee you it's not going to be good. I reassure you it's not going to be good. And I'm not saying that out of the sake of their future. I don't care about this trash. Let them be trash. I hope they continue to live like that, actually. I hope they continue to call it what they're doing daring. I pray that they live life that thinking that is daring, because I know what these kids are going to turn into trash. But me, as much as I want them to continue to live this trashy life, or as they call it, this daring life, if they do that in front of me, no, I will die there. And I have nothing to lose and I'll dare with the thought of all the sufferings of all the people they've died. I'm saying that with a warning that I don't want to go through. I don't want to harm anybody, but I swear to God I cannot allow them to sit there and stand there when I see this trash playing these gimmicks, thinking that I'm going to allow them to live their fantasy. These people might have put a battery in your back, but I'm sorry, I'm going to have to turn that battery off. Something's going to happen at that moment. And these people become very fanatical. They think it's their purpose. I'm like, I'll show you my real purpose. For all these women that you hear me say every day, the list of women I have there that have suffered and tortured, I swear to God, if you think that this is not a real thing, it's not real, you'll see why it's not real. If you've been deluded to the point where you think you're daring, fierce, okay. All right. Give me the chance to display that. I will oblige that very quickly. One way or another. I don't want to, but if I don't do that, and there's very coward people watching this, so it's even more important for me to do it. Not even just for these clowns, because there's a lot of people thanking these kids to do what they do. And imagine you be like, you thank kids, like, thank you kids, you're such avengers, you're heroes. I'm like, okay. You know how sad it is, how nasty it is to be thanking kids and call them heroes for pretending to get raped. Oh gosh. Okay. Well, even if my rage is not just specific to these kids, there's people out here calling you heroes. Make sure they gotta make sure to see that. And the patheticness of these people is supreme. Oh my gosh, it's bad. As I'm in my apartment, I can hear them go through the scripts of things, and I can hear the unimpressiveness, how unimpressive these people are. And they're using technology called voice to skull. That's when you can pipe their voices. They sound so childish already. But I opened the door and I heard them, and the neighbors, it sounds like the neighbors, speaking like just when you can clearly hear them. Oh my gosh. It was so bad. I'm like, they are so truly trash. The most unimpressive trash talking to you. I'm like, Jesus. This is so bad. It's really bad. They're truly unimpressive. Truly the most unimpressive trash. These are the people who think that it's daring to pretend to get raped. They call themselves baits. I'm like, baits? Because apparently they're doing this investigation, they're resolving this, and they're debates, and all these people who they think they are credible continue to call them out. They baited you. Okay, well, have this bait come near me, and you'll see how much they bait me. I'll be back. I know. I'll have to turn off that battery, whatever I do it. They have parents around them letting that happen. Okay. You can't even care of you can't even take care of the kids. Okay. For all the death, the suffering, the torture that I listen to every day that's not real. Okay. These perps really think they've negated that. That I see them as a group of fierce feminists, and that's how they present themselves. I was like, okay. I record them doing their thing. It's so disgusting when you record them and see them. It is so disgusting. You just saw a video, which it was a call I was on. I can't wait to reveal what industry these people there are part of. It will make it so clear on why these people, perhaps their credibility will be, let's just say they have, it'll be they're very compromised. Why? Now, participate in this program come in all shape or form. I could have been employed at a car wash. I could have been employed at an auto accessory place. I could have been employed at an insurance place. I could have been employed at a credit score place, and they were all participate in that. I could have been employed in some kind of packaging supply place. They will all participate. Now, these perps participate, but they gain the most out of it. Now, these people aren't the people who put me in this program. I was already in the program, and I was put in this program by a specific employer who are very, 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 very influenceable. They're the one who put me in this program, and as soon as they got put in this program, I'm sure they might have benefited a little bit, but the truth is they put me in the program to get rid of me. They put me in something to kill me, to destroy my life. They didn't need me. They didn't care about it, they just wanted to get rid of me. And they did whatever possible to do that. And they put me in that program. Now, this Perps is funny. They try to make me think, now, this is our company. Oh, gosh. Oh, what a wishful thoughts. This company is not a company that will be theirs. If anything, that's the kind of company that would help the entities to pass certain legislations. Very, very governmental influence. They put me in this program. They wanted to get rid of me. They wanted to destroy my life, and they put me there. It was over. Matter of fact, I think they were surprised that I didn't, I stick around that long. They wanted me to get away, to get out of the area. Now I'm here. This current employer employed me. The only reason why they employ me is for that purpose. They know who put me in this program. I've very conservative, with perhaps race as a factor, maybe a very strong factor here. Not that this program is racist. This program is not racist. They want target individuals of all races, all gender, all ages. They don't care. They want human subjects. Don't care how old. Don't care the age. They don't care the race. Don't care where. They don't care about none of that. So once you put in this program, please target individuals. Don't think that these people are racist or not. It doesn't even matter. If you're gonna see racists, these racists are just racists that got involved later on. Like it's nothing. For me, if I'm gonna claim some racist happening to me, it's far from here. If racism was ever really a factor of what's happening to me today, it's nowhere near here. Now, with that being said, it doesn't mean that it's going to be racist. Now, this racist Perps. Now, there's not going to be racist Perps in this. Of course, there can be racist Perps. There can be black Perps. There can be Asian Perps. There can be any Perps. But it's over. It doesn't even matter at that point. It's funny because they tell me that once they frame me with these children, and children pretend to get raped, the racists in prison are gonna rape me and cut me down and torture and do all these horrible things. And they talk about the Aryan Brotherhood, which, funny enough, 2 months ago or so, there's an Aryan Brotherhood sentenced for raping and grooming a 14-year-old, drugging her and all. It's amazing how things align themselves. And these people are supposed to be claiming that they're child protectors. And so right now they tell me how they're gonna frame me. But let me just follow up on this part 2.